where gunmen kidnapped over 100 people in a series of attacks in the northeastern part of the country. That's according to a local official. Armed men on motorbikes attacked 4 villages in Zamfara state on Sunday. The Zamfara Information Commissioner, Ibrahim Dosara, said among those abducted were women and children. In one of the villages, residents said the abductees included children aged between 14 and 16. Dosara accused the gunmen of using abductees as human shields against air raids from the military. Kidnapping is common in northern Nigeria. Roving gangs of armed men abduct people from villages, highways, and farms and demand ransom from their relatives. Well, for more on what's happening with that story in Nigeria's northeastern state of Zamfara, we're joined live by our correspondent, Deji Badmosi, who is in Lagos. Thank you so much for joining us, Deji. Let's just talk about what's happened nearly 2 days after this incident of this latest case of mass abductions. What new developments can you tell us, Deji?
Well, Hannah, there's been no significant development as such. The government of that state, that's the government of Zamfara state, and the security agencies operating there say they're doing everything to ensure that those who were kidnapped are released. And for now, there is actually no official figure now as to the exact number of people who were kidnapped. But of course, the incident actually took place when the bandits stormed about 4 villages and carried out this simultaneous attack and kidnapped quite a lot of villagers. So the government says it is doing everything to ensure that they are released. Of course, the government had before now, the government of that state had before now announced that it was not going to engage in ransom payments now, and that it was not going to negotiate with bandits. So But there's no question at all that there would be some kind of talks or negotiation going on. Whether money would exchange hands at the end of the day is difficult to tell. But what we're also gathering is that the bandits have started contacting some of the family members of the abductees now and trying to negotiate some kind of ransom payment. But the government on its part saying it is doing everything to ensure that all those who are abducted are released, and the security agencies as well say they're on top of the situation. So other than that, there's just been no significant development at all. But then this does not come as a surprise. Everybody knows Zamfara state has always been a hotbed for bandits activities.
Deji, given that Nigeria will be holding a critical general election in the coming year, what measures are being put in place to safeguard against criminal elements taking advantage of the country's often charged political atmosphere in Nigeria?
Well, that's a good question, Hannah, and it's indeed a concern for everyone, because when you look at you know, the way the Nigerian military and the Nigerian security agencies are stressed, you begin to wonder how they're going to provide security for elections. But then the head of the security agencies in this country has come out to say, look, everything will be done to ensure that there's security and that the elections will come and go peacefully. The president himself has given that assurance. And what we have also seen in the past few months is that we've seen the military actually upscale their operation now against these criminals, bandits, and of course insurgents in the northeast of the country. Almost on a daily basis, the Air Force carries out airstrikes, the military carries out operations targeting bandits and criminal elements. And I think what they're trying to do is to ensure that they dominate everywhere in preparation for the election. But they've given all the assurance, the head of the military, the head of the security agencies in this country, and the president, who is the commander-in-chief as well, has given all the assurance that the elections will be peaceful, that security will be provided. Well, at least this is not the first time Nigeria will be dealing with a situation as this. In 2019, there was also a security threat. The security situation wasn't that good when the election took place. But then at the end of the day, the government was able to provide some semblance of security, and the election took place seemingly relatively peacefully. And we had the same thing in 2015 as well. So the expectation is that we're going to see more military operations before the election in February, and that things would go on well. But in terms of that assurance now from the government and the security agencies, they've given all the assurance that they're on top of the situation and that they would provide security and that the elections will take place peacefully and that there won't be any major incident at all.